Alright guys, so today we're going to be doing CHING number 129. I had to look at my paper there. So I do want to apologize. I am still a little bit behind with my CHINGs, but I'm trying to get caught up, but yeah, I'm doing the best that I can. So let's just get started. The first thing that I have was a vase. This was by Old Patagonia. Eric and I won this at an auction and it sold for $39.99. So I think it was my last cha-ching. I had a Wedgwood piece, and this next piece I think came that same day. I had won some other Wedgwood at an auction. But this one here was a blue, and it was a blue Wedgwood oval tray, and this actually would have gone to, there was a miniature Wedgwood tea set, and this is kind of like the little tray that the tea set pieces would sit on, and it's actually like a pretty desirable piece. I mean, just that piece sold for $30.99, which isn't bad considering it was blue Wedgwood. So yeah, that did come from an auction. We also sold a purple swung glass vase for $19.99. I feel like this might have come from a yard sale, but I can't remember. But I say I probably paid about $1 to $2 for that. We also sold a Monet trinket box. This one was shaped like a pumpkin, and that sold for $35.99. Also came from an auction. If you guys have been watching my cha-chings for a while, you know that Eric had won a bunch of Monet trinket boxes at an auction. Same with this next one, also a Monet trinket box. This one was for Christmas presents, and that sold for $39.99. I also sold a Philosophy Cinnamon Buns Scented Shimmer Lotion for $19.99. This also came from an auction, and I feel like I say it quite often, like I'll win stuff from a beauty auction, because different times there will be different auction houses that just get in a bunch of beauty stuff. Like, I don't understand where it all comes from. If like there's just women out there who have really bad shopping addictions with like QVC and HSN and stuff like that, because it'll just be like trays and trays full of brand new beauty items never used. And literally, Eric was just at an auction yesterday with a table full of trays upon trays of beauty items that were brand new. So needless to say, I have a huge tote, probably over 100 pounds worth of more beauty stuff to list. So got a lot of beauty stuff. So if you like Peter Thomas Roth, Dr. Brandt, Elemis, and those types of brands, it's mainly like skincare type of items, then be sure to keep an eye out on my auctions. Let's see, we also sold a Limax, no, that's not Limax, Michelle, that's Lennox. Oh my gosh, I need some coffee. We sold a Lennox. This was a Winnie the Pooh birthday figure for $45.99, and we picked that up at a yard sale for $5, which I think is funny because the yard sale that we purchased it from was a lady who works for an auction house, and she gets a lot of like stuff from the auction house that either didn't sell, or she'll pick it up for like super duper duper cheap, like $1, and then sell it at like her own yard sale. And this was a piece that was at the auction that nobody bought, so you know, I got a really great deal on it, and it sold for $45.99, so it's pretty awesome. We also sold a Buyer's Choice Christmas lady. She was holding like a string of Christmas lights. She sold for $39.99. She also came from an auction at one point. I had won kind of a few of the Buyer's Choice dolls. Also sold a Napco Snowflake Girl for $37.99. Trying to think where I got her, I'm not sure. Typically yard sale or auction. Next item actually went to a subscriber named Mary. She purchased a Lisa Larson fox for $109.99. This came from one of the folk art auctions that Eric and I went to. Let's see. Same with this next item. This also came from the folk art auction. This was a Mexican folk art. This was amazing. It was a frog on a bicycle that sold for $99.99. Next item went to a subscriber named Karen. She purchased a little made in Peru stone bird for $43.60. That also came from that same folk art auction. So a lot of these things are from that particular auction. And if you want to go back, if you haven't seen, like I did do a video like showing kind of like a preview of that auction, just to like look at all of the pretty stuff that I didn't win. Next item was an Empoli apothecary jar that sold for $29.99. I picked that up at a yard sale and I'd say I paid $5 or less for it. The next three items went to the same person, but it wasn't a subscriber. These were all pieces by someone named Robert Kaufman, again, folk art auction. The first one was a bunny rabbit like looking pull toy that sold for $26. They also purchased a goat for $24.99 and a pig, again, for $24.99. Alrighties, next is another piece from the folk art auction. This was by P.D. Hoach, and it was a folk art sculpture that sold for $249. I think I had one in my last CHING, and here is another one. Oh, and I have another Peru stone piece. This one was of a duck that also went to Karen, and that was for $55. I also sold a vintage Skipper doll outfit for $22.99. I feel like this came out of a case of some Barbie stuff that I purchased at a yard sale for $5. Sometimes I have a hard time remembering where things came from. Next item was a Pottery Belle by someone named John Bloomquist. That sold for $29.99. Again, I feel like that came from a yard sale. I don't think it came from an auction. I also sold a vintage Avon brush for $22.99. That did come from an auction. I had won like a box full vintage Avon brushes for like, I think I was paying like $1 a piece on them. I also sold, this was a compression knee massager that sold for $99.99, and Eric actually picked that up at a yard sale. I think he did pay about $25 for that. Next three items also went to the same person. Again, I do not believe that was a subscriber. These were all Kurt Adler glass ornaments. They were all kind of wine themed. The first one was for Chardonnay, and they all sold for $15 a piece. So Chardonnay, $15, Cabernet, $15, and Pinot Noir for $15, if I'm pronouncing those words correctly. Next item also from that beauty auction, not the most recent beauty auction, but one prior. It was a lot of philosophy stuff at that point. These were philosophy micro delivery peel pads. Those sold for $59.99. I also sold a Winnie the Pooh tree stump shaped, this was a pencil holder, so it was like a desk accessory. It sold for $39.99, also came from an auction. Same with this next item, came from the folk art auction. This was another P.D. Hoach folk art. This was of a distelfink. That sold for $175. Here's some more philosophy stuff. This one was a Philosophy the Milkman gift set. That sold for $39.99 from a beauty auction. Next two items went to the same person. Again, I don't think this was a subscriber. They purchased a black obsidian heartstone for $34 and a black obsidian butterfly stone for $19.99, and those both came from the folk art auction. Is that everything I have for this cha-ching? I feel like this one wasn't as long as normally I do like 50 some things and I only have 32 things down. So that's it for this one. I'm sorry, you guys. It feels like that wasn't very long. Let's see. At the end of the video, I talk about my last 30 days if sales are up or down, or last 31 days. I'm not even sure what it is now. Anyway, sales are still down. I'm down 15.6% according to eBay. And yeah, it feels like it. It feels like sales are down. But you know, it's gonna pick up at some point here soon. It's going to, like, it has to, right? Yeah, I've been selling on eBay for since 2000 or 2001. So it's been a long time, and this happens all the time. So, you know, sales will start going back up again. You know, school's starting soon and Christmas will be here before you know it. And I have been noticing an uptick in Halloween and Christmas item selling. So if you don't list those year round, definitely start getting them listed. Don't wait until October. Don't wait until December, because people are looking now. That's what I'm trying to work on as far as like what I've been listing, but I have so much stuff to list that it gets overwhelming sometimes, and I'll just start grabbing things, and if it's Christmas or Halloween it is, if it's not, it's not type of thing. It's just at least something is getting listed. But yeah, so eBay sales down, but other than that, I feel like, you know, eBay is running smoothly, I should say. Trying to think if there is anything that has happened lately that's eBay related that I could talk about, and I don't feel like there is. I did notice one thing, and it's kind of been bugging me. Like, I'm pretty sure they rolled out like all of that like AI feature type thing to put in your description, which the more I looked at it and saw it, it's word salad, and I'm not really impressed by it, and I'm not going to use it personally. I feel like it's too repetitious of what the description becomes, and it's too long of a description, and people just don't have that brain capacity to focus on an entire paragraph of a description. They just want the bare minimum of what your item is, what the measurements are, if there's any issues, and that type of thing. Not like, this will look beautiful in your home decor, this red bell of a bell, beautiful decor, home, in your home, beautiful decoration of this red bell. I don't know. It's just, it's too much in my opinion. But one of the things that it's bugging me about is that every time you go into your description to start writing your description, before this whole AI thing, it would kind of like, it would put at least your title as the start of your description in the description box, and that's no longer there, at least for me. So that kind of bugs me, because sometimes like I would just work off the title as far as like, you know, my measurement would be right there if I had the measurement in the title and things like that, so I wouldn't have to like go back and double check myself. So I'm not seeing that title like going down into the description box anymore since they started this AI stuff. So I'm hoping that gets fixed and it's, you know, goes back to how it used to be, because I liked that aspect of the title kind of transferring down into the description. So that's just something that's been slightly bugging me. It's not like the end of the world, but just like one little thing that's been bugging me as far as eBay goes. But as far as that, I just sold something. Oh, that's a good sale. Oh, things might be turning around for me here. Oh, yes. I needed this sale. I sold a, as long as I don't get like a message in the next second, oh, I accidentally purchased this, can you can you cancel my bid? I sold this, oh, this beautiful, I'm a little sad to see this go because it was gorgeous. This was an antique templates vase. $899, guys. Oh, yes. Okay, that came from the folk art auction. That was a great sale. Woo! Yes! Okay. Anyway, so just some slight ramble after all this, not eBay related, but I know some of you guys probably click out, but some of you still, you know, just like to listen to me jabber a little bit. So there is a man that goes to a couple of the auction houses that we go to, and he actually is like a co-owner of a thing that they call the Golden Glow of Christmas. So you guys have to let me know if anyone is familiar with this, if you belong to it, and that kind of thing. So it's like a membership. You get, I think, a quarterly like magazine that comes out that, you know, is filled with pictures of vintage Christmas stuff and things like that, like informative type of things. And they have like conventions every year, like all over the United States, where, you know, they'll have a convention in like a hotel, and everyone will just have all of their vintage Christmas stuff in the hotel room set up, and then like you can just go and shop it. It's not open to the general public. You have to be like a member of this whole like thing. It's called the Golden Glow of Christmas, and he's talked about it before. Eric talks to him a lot because Eric's the one that normally goes to the auctions, and he says like we should, you know, get a membership and everything, and we're thinking about it. So I think Eric is going to. You only need like one membership to a household, which is nice. And then when the convention comes around, like if you can't go to it, like you don't have to purchase a ticket for it or anything like that. But I think it is pricey to even like be a member of this kind of like club. But Eric and I are really starting to get into collecting vintage Christmas and vintage Halloween like hardcore. I am adamant this year that come closer to Christmas, I'm going to purchase a like really nice old, like uber old antique like German Christmas decoration. Like that's what I want, and I kind of already know which one I want. It's at an antique store. I doubt it'll still be there, but maybe, because it's very expensive. But like I kind of just want to start, not necessarily getting rid of like my kitschy kind of like made in Japan ceramic pieces and stuff like that, but I want to incorporate more older pieces of Christmas, like older than that, like more German based made pieces into my collection. So I want to just like start with at least like one piece. So that's kind of like, I'm adamant about getting something like that for this year as like a Christmas present. And I know Eric wants a real feather tree, so I don't know if we'll be able to get both of those things, but you know, we're just really starting to get more like hardcore into collecting stuff. So he's looking into actually getting a membership to this. So if anyone is a member already, let me know. And next time there is a convention, like, hello, you know what I mean? Like I could actually like see any of you guys that are members as well. The convention for this year is today, literally, in Washington, D.C., which isn't that far from me, so I definitely could have gone to that one. So it's funny because after the auction, Eric was just at an auction today, and he was saying that man had to leave to go to D.C., and it's funny because the auction house, the man and the lady who run the auction house are also going, so they had to leave after the auction too to head down to DC. So I just thought that was funny, and we're definitely like probably going to get a membership. So I'm excited about that because Eric and I really don't go on vacations, so it'll be nice. It could be kind of like a little bit of vacation. I don't know if we could go too far because neither of us really likes airplanes, but as long as it's within like driving distance that's not too crazy, then we probably would definitely get to, you know, a convention that's kind of closer. So there's that. But other than that, I feel like that's pretty much everything. So let me know how everything is going for you guys. If your sales are down like mine, unless it took a turn with that sale there. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought down in the comments, and I will see you next time.